Hi, my name is Gabriela Gel, and I am a student at CBC RN BSN program. For my final capstone project, I decided to focus on school policies. I am currently a nursing director at Toppenish School District, so that was one of the main issues that we were facing at this time of the year is school policies towards that are regarding COVID-19 and how we're going to bring students back in safely into the school, students and staff as well. So the purpose of my project is to improve safety measures for students and families and as well as staff as we reopen schools during the pandemic. This was going to be kind of a difficult task because at the time I started my project, we still weren't sure how school was going to reopen, if there was going to be online, if we were going to do a hybrid version, or if we were going to be able to bring students in full time. So those were some of the issues that I had to kind of take into mind when we were beginning this project. I worked with my preceptor, Jessica Bjor, who was also an RN BSN, and she was able to help me make sure that we got of the right focus and the right research and information that we needed that was evidence-based from CDC, OSPI, even the WHO as well. The process that I went through to do this was first we had to outline proper screening procedures for students and staff at entry. So basically we wanted to make sure that we were up to standard when it came to when students were able to come into the buildings, that we had a plan for them, and that would include temperature checks, that included a verification of their symptoms. Some of this process would have to be done prior to them even coming to school. So we were really hoping that parents would be able to do this at home. So we came up with a form that we would have parents fill out, either online version or paper version written, where they would basically answer a few questions stating whether their child had been exposed to somebody with COVID-19, if they've had a temperature or any symptoms within the last 24 hours. And that's a way for us to screen them to make sure that we're covering all our bases and doing the best that we can to keep everybody safe. Another process that I worked on was creating a guideline for teachers and staff so when students were at school and in their classrooms, that way staff were aware for what reasons to send students to the office or call the school nurse. In a normal school year, students would just, if they complained about a stomach ache, a headache, the normal day-to-day things, they would just be sent to the office. But because of this new time that we're in with the pandemic and the infectious rate of this disease, we needed to really come up with a better plan, because we wanted to try to avoid the traffic in the buildings, in the classrooms, to the office, and try to decrease exposure. So if somebody did become sick, we were not exposing them to everybody in the building. So kind of coming up with those guidelines and also helping teachers be aware as what things can they really take care of in their classroom. So if it was like a minor paper cut, maybe like a tummy ache that they just needed to go to the bathroom or drink some water, things like that they could just take care of in their classroom, but also give them guidelines as to what they needed to what do they need to do once the student is displaying some type of COVID symptoms or a fever and whatnot, and what the procedures are for that. And the other thing that I worked on was creating a triage protocols for our office staff. So all the other nurses in our buildings or health aides, and having basically a triage form laid in place so that they knew if the student is displaying these symptoms, this is what you do, this is who you call, kind of a step-by-step guideline for them to help them through the process. Being a director at a school district, and a school nurse even, we're not able to be in all buildings at one time, so it's really important that we train our staff on these protocols so that they know how to respond and what to do in case we're not in the building, and making it the most efficient process as possible, And like I said, the main goal for this was to provide a safe environment for students and staff while trying to maintain our risk of the disease exposure or transmission low. And that was the main goal towards this policy. I was not able to implement the policy. That's still in the works because we ended up starting the school district virtually. So we have more time to kind of work through the kinks on that, but we have been working with staff that have been coming into the building, so that has been helping us kind of, like I said, work out those kinks and make the process even better. Thank you for your time, and that is all for today.